How to make friends. Do you ever feel lonely? Do you feel like other people are always going out and doing fun things, while you find yourself staying home alone? Do you wish you could make more friends, but not sure how? Do you feel lost in how to initiate an interaction with someone and even feel intimidated by the whole social scene? In this video, we are going to cover some tips and helpful steps in the process of making new friends. Number 1. Get to know what your interests are. The first step in making friends is knowing who you are. This will include your interests, values, and goals. What is important to you? Do you like church? Do you like video games? Are you interested in higher education or have deep interest in something like trains? Do you like to learn new things or Old Faithful? What are your values, interests, and goals? Whatever your values, interests, and goals are, there's a friendship out there for you. Number 2, make the move. Now that you've identified what you want to do, now you have to find the people that have the same interests as you do. This may sound easier said than done. If you like spending most of your time being indoors, you may have to go outside your comfort zone to meet new people that are like-minded. One solution to meeting others with the bonus of helping others is volunteering. You could go to local places like your library or community center, church, or even community events in your area. If you want to stay local, but concerned that your prior suggestions will not have like-minded people, we suggest you to try the internet. On the internet, you can access a website called meetup.com. This is a place where like-minded people create and start groups specifically catered to those with the same interests as them. If you are into social media, perhaps you can join like-minded Facebook groups or start a group yourself and invite others to join the conversation. Maybe you're interested in finding new educational opportunities. There are a lot of free online classes offered on websites such as elearners.com, edX, which offers courses by Harvard, MIT, and more. Stanford Online also offers free courses. You can virtually volunteer at places like American Red Cross, the Humanitarian Data Exchange. These are just a few ideas. Go ahead and get creative with your own new ways to meet people, and leave us comments with your ideas, and we will leave links in the description for some of the ideas we suggested. Finally, COVID-19 may put a crimp on some of our outside activities, but we have discussed that there is no reason or excuse to not make new friends, because whether virtually or face-to-face or mask-to-mask, you can always find a new friend. Number 3, make the connection. Once you've found that group of people with the same interests as you, the key is to make connections with those people. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That means start talking. One piece of advice we have for you is to not limit yourself to one person. Even though you may find a spark with that one person, always be open to talk to others as well. This way you can spread your wings and find a group of friends. It can be rewarding to build a community of friends that may not have existed before. If you limit yourself to one person, you won't have anyone else to talk to if that one person is not available. Once you have made a connection, don't forget to offer to make plans with them or exchange contact information. One thing to take note of is that if the person doesn't want your contact information or to make plans, politely move on to the next possible friend. Also, maybe you're not ready to give other people your contact information. It's okay to let them give you theirs and tell them you will get back to them. Friendship is a two-way street. Number 4, how to start talking to your new possible friend. Try not to focus on the outcome, but the enjoyment in building a relationship and connection with another. It is important to be yourself because you don't want them to find out you're someone else later. It is good to start talking using small talk. Simple sentences that include talking about the weather is a classic example of small talk. The simple topic of weather has been known to spark many conversations. Maybe you don't like asking people about the weather. There are plenty of other examples of small talk. One of the websites we found helpful was muse.com. They suggest things like talking about work, entertainment, food, travel, or others. This website gives great suggestions for conversation starters. Small talk can be awkward, and sometimes you may not feel like you said the right thing. If you are worried about this, observe the other person's body language or facial expressions after you start the conversation. Feel free to ask them, did I make you feel uncomfortable, or what I said make you feel awkward? If they say yes, quickly apologize and ask them how did they feel about the weather today. The point of this is, small talk takes practice, and sometimes you have to take small steps, metaphorically speaking, to get good at it. Number 5, keep the conversation going. Keeping a conversation going is almost as important as starting a conversation when it comes to making friends. Think of topics to talk about that can lead to other topics. Ask leading questions about the person you are talking to. Ask them about their likes or dislikes. It will be easier if you are both in like-minded groups. Find ways to interject why you joined the group and ask them why they did. People like it when others are interested in what they are doing, and they'll be more than happy to talk about it. Allow them to ask questions about things you do, and give yourself the opportunity to ask them. Share some stories, and tell them some funny things if it's appropriate. Keep conversation positive. Remember to smile. One trick is to slightly copy their body language. If they sit down, you sit down. If they have their arms crossed, you might want to cross your arms. If they do the same thing you are doing with your body language, it may be a cue that they are enjoying your company. There is research that shows this is part of communication. We will try to link some of this in the description as well. The more enjoyable the conversation you have with a person, the more likely a person will want to talk to you again. After you gain some rapport with the other person, you will probably find that you are both communicating about deeper topics that can help connect with that person more. You probably will not do this with every friend you make. In fact, it is wise to not do this with every friend you make, although it may be tempting at times. This will be reserved for those special friends. You might want to consider them your inner circle friends, and there can be more than 1 or 2. However, it will probably be limited to 6 or less once you start making friends. These suggestions are not hard and fast rules, but it is something that you may want to keep in mind. Number 6, continuing the friendship. Now we assume that you found these people you really like. You found common ground that includes interest, values, and goals. So, what's next? It's sometimes easy to let those budding friendships to fizzle out. First, it is important to note that friendships are a two-way street. Some friends may get busy and not have time for your friendship. Don't take it personally. Just remember to keep that person on a back burner in your mind, because it is a possibility that your friendship will start up again. Some friends don't talk to each other for years, but when they meet up again, it's likely they were never apart. This often happens with friends you had in your childhood. Some people are going to want to continue the friendship if you have mutually agreed to continue. It's important to not ignore that person and to be available or to communicate when you're not available, so that friend will know that you're still interested. If that friend doesn't communicate in the same way that you do, and this friend ends up never returning your calls, emails, texts, perhaps they weren't the friend you thought they were. If you truly care for someone or enjoy their company, you don't want that person to assume that you don't care about them. That's why it's so important to keep in touch. Can you hear me now? This video covered several different steps in the overall process of making friends, and we talked about various tips to help fulfill the start of new friendships. If you have more ideas about how to make friends, please share it in the comments. We appreciate our new friends who have already subscribed to us. Please like and share this video with one of your friends, or show it to someone you want as a new friend. Maybe it will start a conversation.